Well, hello, and welcome to a brand new Pokeball series. This is just not a normal series, this is a brand new collaboration, and this time it's not with Jufum but with Anouk. And Anouk is here with me. Say hello, Anouk.
Hey,
So let me just explain a bit about the series. In the series called Islands of Omnia, me and Anouk will build a series of islands, each with different theme. Every island will have a different size, and we will spend 2 to 4 episodes per island. Every island will be made in a different world so that we won't get issues with our frame rate or the world not loading up anymore.
so the way we collaborate is we clone the world after each episode to our own account. For example, after this episode, I will clone the world Hydra built, and after episode 2, Hydra clones the world I built, and so on. Because of the fact that multiplayer isn't a thing yet, this is how we want to do it.
And now let's talk a bit about the style of the series. And with that, I don't mean the style of the builds, but the way these episodes are gonna be scheduled. The music that we are gonna use and how the videos will be built up. Let's start with the schedule. We are planning on releasing an episode every Saturday on 5 PM GMT. Remember, this is what we have in mind right now. Next week school starts again and we are not sure how busy we're gonna be with that. But even if we are gonna be very busy with school, the episodes will still be on Saturday, but just not every week. Now let's talk about the videos themselves. The videos are all gonna contain at least 60 minutes sped up, time-lapse, and a unique outro screen for every video. The music is gonna have a different style every island. This island, for example, will have some medieval music since it has a medieval theme, even though it's called fantasy in the game. For example, with an undead island, it's gonna have spooky orchestral music. This is just an example, but if we do an undead theme, it's not guaranteed we are actually gonna use this kind of music. For the commentary in every single one of my episodes, there will be commentary unless I don't have any time whatsoever. About Anouk's videos, we are not sure yet. She at the moment says she only wants to do commentary with me and not on her own. But remember, this is her first time using voice in a YouTube video, so maybe that's gonna change. This series has a story too. In the first episode, the person that's building will read out the part that's part of the island. In the end, it's gonna be one big story.
And now let's talk about the names. In this series, Islands of Omnia, Omnia means everything. Because we will try to cover all themes in this series, every island will have its own name. The first one is Portum, which is Latin for harbor.
That's gonna do it for the first part of this commentary. Now I'm gonna talk about what I'm building this episode on my own. Bye, Anouk!
Bye!
Now that it's finally calm here, let me read out the story. Pete looked like an ordinary fisherman's son. He went out on the open sea every day with his father on their boat to catch fish, as fishermen tend to do. And doing this over and over again every single day bored him to death. Not literally, of course, because not only fishing was boring, his life in general was boring. Nothing special ever happened on Portum. One day, Pete decided that he was sick of this life. The next time he and his father had a day off, he would try and sneak into the ship and sail off in the distance to explore the world. So that's the first part of the story. In the first episode of the new islands, me or Anouk will tell you how it continues. Now let's talk about what I've built so far and about what I'm gonna be building in the rest of this episode. So far I've already built the docks and some barrels, and I of course placed some boats. As you can see, it's quite a bit more, it's not as gritty as the harbors in Foxville and Stereo, but it's using the same kind of docks, which are just cabin 4 pieces. And later this episode, I'm gonna be building the storages for the harbor and a block of houses, which is gonna be quite detailed. It's all gonna be very compact and claustrophobic on this island. This is also the first ever advanced terrain that I actually complete in this game. I mean, I'm working on Fuego right now, a streaming project, but that terrain isn't finished yet. And this is also the first ever more than 2 months sped up time lapse that I record after the raise and lower options got introduced. So if you see me shaking the camera around a lot, that's because I'm really getting used to it. And those raise and lower options require more precision, and if you want to build very precise, you gotta shake around and look around with the camera a lot. But that update also introduced the option to turn off the auto camera when placing items that you normally place in a row. So that I guess makes kinda up for it because they really didn't help my time lapse. The fact that you couldn't turn it off. As you can see, this time lapse is quite a bit longer than 60 minutes. But I said at least 60 minutes. This is probably gonna be one of the longest episodes in the whole series. I apologize for that. I didn't know this timelapse was gonna be that long when me and Anouk recorded that, because this was built after that. Only the terrain was built back when we recorded that part that you just heard where we recorded together. That's gonna do it for the commentary in this episode. For now, I'll leave you alone with the music, and I'll see you later. Bye!